Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals here, producing some exclusive content for the ESET UK Masters. And well, I am looking at some of the finalists. And of course, those of you who've been watching the thread, the playlist, just my channel in general know, over the last week or so, I have been looking at each of the finalists for the ESET UK Masters. Those who qualified through the online qualifiers, or Crass and Bling, who made it through for being finalists at the 2012 ESET UK Masters. Now, dTefel, he didn't actually make it through the qualifiers. He got knocked out, but unfortunately due to a scheduling issue, Nurtio was unable to attend, so dTefel was the next highest ranking Zerg player from those qualifiers and therefore got the seed. So, without further ado, in the lower left, as the blue Zerg from Team Dignitas, it is dTefel. In the top right, his opponent as the red Protoss from Rockkiss, it is Titan. Now, dTefel's who we're focusing on. Let's get that straight. It's not meaning I'm going to cast this biasly, it just means that dTefel is the one we're going to be focusing on, because the entire purpose of this week of casting is that you, at home, the viewer, can get an idea of what the different finalists play like, who you like. It may not be the best person, it's whose playstyle you enjoy most, who you just think is the coolest baller going, and then you can support them, you can cheer for them, you can tune in on the stream, twitch.tv/ESET UK Masters on the 22nd to 25th of March, and give them some kind words, send them a tweet, send a tweet to us, saying, yeah, they're cool guys, and we will be sure to pass that on and make sure they see it. So, anyway, dTefel, did you know, in the 2012 ESET UK Masters, he did insanely well. Like, he did really solid. He got through into the group stages. He had a tough group. It was the all-Zerg group. And it included his teammate, then Johnny Rico, himself, Zictor Mini, and Liquid TLO. So, a difficult group. And he only went 2-0 because there was only 2 games played. So, yeah, dTefel, he 2-0'd them. And that was Zictor Mini and TLO, so he's a cool guy. Also, he did really well at the Poland WCS, unfortunately losing to Nurtio, who he's replacing here. And just generally speaking, he places quite well in online events and things like that. dTefel is definitely solid, consistent. He's from Poland, and obviously he's part of Dignitas, as I mentioned earlier. He's one of their newest recruits. He joined just before Orc did, actually, so he's fairly new to their team, and he puts in a lot of work, actually. He streams quite a bit and plays a lot, so that is always good to see. Now, in terms of strategy, it was a pull, then into a hatchery. He's up against a Nexus after Forge. So it was Forge, Nexus, Gateway, Photon Cannon, which is all very normal. Actually, I think the Photon Cannon, yeah, the Photon Cannon was definitely after the Gateway there, so that's fine. Now, on this map, of course, Whirlwind, it is huge. Like, absolutely ginormous. It is the biggest map in the map pool, as far as I am aware. It's the biggest one there's ever been. I'm not... Ooh, this is actually a good question. I'm genuinely not sure if Tal'Darim was bigger than Whirlwind. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know, but anyway, big map, so that means the rush strategies don't necessarily work quite as well, unless of course your Star Tail's life. Then you 6-pool on Whirlwind, because that is how you beat Flash. And that was a big spoiler, I'm sorry anyone who hasn't seen the MLG finals, but the way I look at it, it's like 4 days ago, so if you haven't watched it by now, you're probably not that desperate not to hear the result, because, yeah, anyway, sorry. And coming back to the game, we do have, well, the third base coming down from dTefel, so this is all very normal. Slightly later than we saw in Wings, it's around 4 minutes 40. That's, again, it's not a massive issue, it's just very slightly later. Could do with an Overlord over here, because otherwise I'm terrified he's going to get cannon rushed, but the probe is going away, so that's fine, because these Zerglings were coming over and would have spotted anyway, but being someone who has played this thing called Ladder, you get absolutely traumatized whenever... Well, I played Ladder as a Zerg. If you ever played a ZvP, you have, at some point, I almost guarantee, being cannon rushed at your third, and you just want to murder them. You're just like, why? Why would you do that? It was like, no rush 30 minutes, KK, and they were like, no, I'm going to cannon rush you. But yeah, it's fine. Everything's going nicely. Titan is just getting out the mothership core slightly earlier than we actually tend to see normally. He's getting it before this, before his natural base's minerals are saturated, which is a little more peculiar. Perhaps just going to go and try and put on a bit of pain. He will have out the Zealot, but he doesn't actually have anything else as far as I'm aware. It is just that one Zealot, and he's not even producing anything else for the time being. So This is a little bit peculiar, I'm not going to lie. He's getting 4 additional gateways, so I know what he's going for, almost certainly. It's going to be some stalker harassment into this third, and the reason it's so strong is because you've got the mothership core with it, and that means that once the proxy pylon goes down, which should be around here somewhere, you can start warping in stalker after stalker, which is great against the roaches, and all you have to be careful of is a surround from the zerglings. But generally speaking, zerg players don't start speed until quite a bit later, about 7 minutes therefore, dTefel, and therefore it means that you're not at too much risk, and should by some good play or a good surround your stalkers get trapped, you use your mothership core to mass recall, and then you get out of there and you're perfectly safe and you haven't lost anything. Best case scenario, you kill the third base and then it's a pretty smooth ride to the finish. So this is really looking interesting. dTefel, I know in the other game I cast for his highlight for ESET, is that he went for a really big roach push against Cass. So we'll wait to see if something similar is going on. He is getting the roach run and also getting down a single evolution chamber. No double evos here, as well as that lair timing syncing up with the roach roar and finishing. So it could be quite a few roaches coming out. Sees these pylons now and quick reactions. 10 roaches straight away down. One forced to cancel. The second one will also need to get stopped, but some zealots actually getting warped in. So not the stalkers I was expecting straight away, just wanting to go for a lot more consistency in damage. dTefel chucking down the hydrogen, not overcommitting. He just wants to be able to really defend this third. That's the most important thing. And with the roaches here, he should be fine doing that. The queen trying to focus down the mothership core. As long as it's not attacked by the zealots, will be okay. But as we're seeing, these zealots are getting absolutely cleaned up by the roaches, and the follow-up is going to be Roach Hydra, incredibly strong against Protoss as long as there aren't Colossi out. And there's not going to be Colossi because basically dTefel knows that with these zealot warp-ins there must be a decent number of gateways, which means if there's a decent number of gateways at this point, no robo, which is only just getting started. So a good potential for counter push is these two pylons. Well, that one definitely going to go down. I'm not sure if he will come and check for this one, but it should get spotted at some point. And now it's just really up to dTefel to start really pumping units or drones. It's up to him, which he does. But that push ultimately for Titan only killed 2 workers, which is not much at all. We can see that dTefel is still comfortably ahead by just under 20 workers himself. So that is a good advantage. He's a base up. Definitely not enough damage done by Titan to justify not taking that third base. And as a result, we're going to just see dTefel start pushing forwards, just coming to check that the third isn't down there. He may even come and check up this way to see if it's going down, and that is what Titan looks to be positioning this probe to do, to shut down that first pylon for it. But up come the roaches, they're going to take a quick peek. We've got more lings coming out. Also, and this is really surprising, we've got the Hydrogen researching this range upgrade as opposed to speed, and considering how aggressive dTefel's being with these roaches pushing across the map, he's getting that for defensive reasons. You need the Hydra speed upgrade off creep in order to go and do more, but obviously if you've got the range upgrade, you're very defensive because Hydras are still fast on creep, and therefore you can hold off any air pressure. You can just really expand quite nicely. So a quick check round, 4 pylons, but unfortunately dTefel missing the one at the bottom of the map there, checking literally everywhere else. He's like, I know it came from somewhere, but where is the question? Hopefully he will come down here now, because this is the only logical place it could still be. And there, indeed they do. dTefel finds it and will destroy it. The first Colossus is about to pop, so this is just Titan happily going along his normal business. He is supply blocked, unfortunately, though, after losing that proxy pylon, which is quite problematic, and only just taking his third base at 11:30. So dTefel has had this third base up for a lot longer. He's pumping an extraordinary amount of units, and while it is Roach Hydra Ling, he doesn't really have to worry because this is one Colossus. That is not enough to deal the critical damage. You can get sniped off so easily. The force fields from Titan here are going to have to be spectacular. But it's the follow-up. The Hive is coming out as well, so that gives options to dTefel. What is he going to go for? Will it be a Viper for the Abduct? We'll wait to see. But for the moment, we do see the force fields being baited. Sees the Colossus, decides to pull back, playing it safe. Wants to bait more force fields, wants to have escape routes, does not want to get his units trapped where they could get taken out by this Gateway and Colossus army. So that is just really smart play. The second Colossi only just getting started now due to the supply block, and as such, this just means dTefel is pumping so many units, 180 supply, getting more roaches out as well as Hive just finishing up. He's got a good amount of money in the bank as well, so he can start producing out of this as well. Vipers could come out for the Abduct. If you can abduct the Colossi into your Roach Hydra army, then guess what? You're not going to do much. And as expected, here comes the Vipers out now. So this is just a great composition, especially against low numbers of Colossi, because all you have to do, as I said, is get a couple of Abducts off. They're in your army, and you can snipe them off with no trouble before they deal any damage. And that is just a really nice playstyle and something that's really going to benefit dTefel, especially when he's taking his 4th base down here as well. So with that 4th up, with the fact that he's a little low on drones, I'd like to see a couple more drones come out, unless he's going to go really pretty aggressive here. He doesn't have muscular augments, it's only just starting now, but what he does have is the +1 carapace. He's also got +1 missile attack coming down. However, Titan does have the better upgrades. He's got the 1-1 complete already, getting his 2nd forge out as well, so he's going to start double upgrading, which is really quite potent. He's also gone for shields, and the reason that shield came down is because the Twilight Council was delayed, and with no Twilight Council, he couldn't get 2-2 started, clearly. So now what we've got is really the map being dominated by the Zerg player. There's no way at all Titan can risk moving out. The first Vipers are just hitting the field now. I'm trying to take a look to see what they're consuming, and it is these additional evolution chambers being built, so lots of energy on these Vipers now. An awful lot of abducts are ready to go down. There is only 2 Colossi out on the field at the moment. That's just 2 abducts. Those Colossi would melt, and in we go. We see the Vipers starting to move forward, trying to bait them forward, and there we go. The abducts do go off. Absolutely perfect play by dTefel there, re-abducting one of them. Can't quite catch the second, but there he goes. He does get it at the last second, and look at that. No Colossi. This is now Roach Hydra, completely, well, nearly maxed out, is now completely maxed out, up against just a couple of Stalkers. A few Blinding Clouds being used as well, because there's so much excess energy preventing the Stalkers moving forward. Another Colossus does hit the field, but it's not going to be enough to really threaten this army. The Vipers do still have energy. There's another great abduct, and look at that. That Colossus just melts. Such a good play, utilizing these Vipers so well, even putting the Blinding Cloud there, preventing the Stalkers from getting into range, meaning that these force fields are effectively pointless, and dTefel can just outweigh them, kill off a couple of gateways, and now moving forward, this pure Stalker army against Roach Hydra, not a chance. I'm expecting a GG any second now, and wow, this was just really solid play. Great use of Vipers, and there we go, GG is called. Good work there by the Zerg player, and that use of Vipers was just solid, and I really feel Vipers are going to be some of the staple one of the most staple units of the Zerg compositions in Heart of the Swarm. So I'm excited to see what dTefel could be doing with those come the finals this weekend. So yeah, reminder everyone, tune in. The 22nd is the Bring Your Own Computer qualifier at iSeries, Insomnia 48. Then Saturday and Sunday are the finals, the group play and the grand finals themselves on the Sunday. So make sure you check out and follow the stream, which will of course be twitch.tv/ESET UK Masters. Also make sure you check out at ESET UK Masters on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube. If you want to check out me, or my Twitter and stuff, they're all on screen. Like this video, leave a comment, go over to the TL thread of this and leave a comment. I've put hours and hours and hours into this, so let me know what you think. Let me know who you're going to be supporting, and yeah, I'm going to see you all at the weekend. I'm hyped. I hope you are too. Bye for now.